Hello, folks. I know this is strange. I'm going live on YouTube instead of Facebook, but we have a lot of people who aren't on Facebook, so why not? It's Friday afternoon. I have some soldering up to do. I've got the printer running. I'm sure it's a racket. I'm sorry. I would normally have gone live, but I want to test out YouTube Live. I haven't done it in like a year, and it's changed quite a bit. So I wanted to make sure the setup worked. I have some projects coming up I want to use it for. And yeah, I thought I would take a quick stab at this. If you have any comments, post them over in the comment section. I'll watch for them. I'll probably post the link to this over in Facebook when we're done. But I'm kind of curious to see how many people see me on YouTube at all. So I'm not posting it to Twitter. I'm not posting it to Facebook. Let's see if anybody shows up at all. So say hi. All we're going to do today is we're going to assemble one of these, and this is a request from a user on Facebook who was using the Chinchica from RJ Cooper, and he thought it was discontinued because it said discontinued. And so he asked for help, and I said, well, we could probably 3D print one of those for you. So I designed one, and then it turns out it's not discontinued, it just wasn't on his new site. So either way, I have it here. I might as well assemble it and send it to the guy. The idea here is it's going to hold two MX switches, one here, one down here, in the holes, which we designed in Fusion 360. And then these will be wired as two separate AT switches. Now it turns out but it really doesn't snap in, and the other one pops right out. So after I solder these up, I'll actually hot glue them in place just for testing and to send it off and not throw this away. And then in the next version that I make, I'll make the holes slightly smaller so they snap in better. Maybe a little thinner right up around it so they actually snap in and hold. I may do a couple test prints on that to see how it goes. But all we're going to do here today is we are going to put 1/8 inch or 3.5 millimeter mono plugs on or cords on these, and then we will hot glue them together. Once that's done, I have what I'm printing right now is actually a very small light touch switch. I need 3 of them to finish this project. This is Chris Young's Ultimate Remote, and I have to finish filming something for him. I need 3 switches for it, and shockingly, I ran out of switches. So I'm going to solder these up, glue them up, and then take those off the printer and make 3 of those. I'll probably do all those on camera. I'm not sure, but probably. Okay, so I'll probably turn off my camera here in a little bit. This is not plugged in. Well, it's not going to work. So, all right. I won't turn on the fume evacuator because I just think that's going to be too loud with the fume evacuator and the printer. So I'll just do the best I can. So let's see. So I really like this stupid stick vise. I was certain this was a waste of money. It is not. It's kind of awesome. And I'm just going to tack solder these in place right here. I'm going to turn off my camera and get some better lighting, magnification, and hopefully my soldering iron is heated up enough to get started. So let's see. So when we do tack soldering, I mean, I've shown this before, but I'll bring in just to make it super clear. We put solder on the 2 pins like this. Like that. So the solder's on the 2 pins. And make sure there's solder on the wires, which they usually are. They usually come pre-tinned. We'll add a little bit to them just to make sure. And then all we have to do is hold this in place, heat them up until they stick together, hold them in place while they cool, and then do the other one like that. And that's it. So they're soldered together, and we're going to be holding them together with hot glue anyways. So now if I pull this back through carefully, I should be pretty good. And I might want to turn that 90 degrees like that. Yeah, I think that actually fits a little better. But that's it. We'll take this, we'll run the wires down the side, and we have this quarter 20 threaded bolt here, so I don't want to run the wires on the bottom right here because I want to be able to screw into this. So I'll run them down the side, and we'll hot glue this in place. Let me do the other side real quick. So put this in here. I didn't expect to like the stick vise that much. I really do. Where's my other? I had 2 cables. Let me go grab another cable. It'll just take a second. So I bought these cables from China, from AliExpress, by the hundreds. They were well under $1 a piece, and they're standard mono 3.5 millimeter plugs. On the other end, you've got 2 wires. One of the nice things is that you actually have 2 separate wires. You don't have to use the shielding for one, or worry about how to get them separated and that kind of stuff. They are actually 2 separate wires, which is nice. We'll just do the same thing we just did on this one. We have to run the wire through the holder here, and let's see. Tin the pins. And then just make sure the wires are tinned. Oops. I have a helping hand. I should probably just use it, but it doesn't seem like it should be necessary. There you go. And once again, we'll just make sure this is twisted the way we want it. Hold these 2 together. Let them cool. Put that in place. Let them cool. They're good. Like this. I definitely could use some more some hot glue to hold it in place. Yep. So let's do that. Let's get some hot glue for the backs here. And that's the best way to hold this so you guys can see it. I don't know. It's hot glue. I'm not going to stress about you guys seeing it right. So I'm hitting each of the 2 leads, and then just kind of hitting all the way down the side here. I'm not crafty, so. Let that cool for a second. Hi, Chris. You're on YouTube only. I know. I usually only stream on Facebook, but this is a test today. This is not like a full-blown stream. I am just testing YouTube because I haven't done it in forever. They changed the streaming interface, and I thought I'd test it. So I'm making a Chinchica replica. Yeah, I'm not good at hot glue. Sorry about that. So, really kind of messy. Okay. I'm sure there's 100 people on Pinterest all upset with my hot glue fiasco here. Alright, let's do the other one. That one should be cool enough. Alright, so yes, this is the world's cheapest hot glue gun. It's a Walmart cheap special. It's life, it's fine. Go. All right, so there's two. Chris, I'm glad you're here. This is primarily to support your work. I guess the best thing I can do is just kind of set it here. Here, I'll let you see it. And there's one cooling. Kind of dripping. I don't really care. Here's the other one. I think they're both okay. And then this thing is at 75% done, so that's not good. But what else can I do in the meantime? I suppose. I don't know. I could zip tie the wires. That would work. Let's see. So I'm going to take these wires and zip tie them to the sides here. Like here and here. And then on the other side matching. I basically want the wires to come out here because I have a cloth that I can wrap around this, a sleeve that I have coming. So I'll put this guy here. And this is primarily just strain relief. Yeah, it's not going to look the best, but so let's put this on the side. Come on. There we go. And then there's one. And then the other side will go down the other side. How about that? That's unfortunate, but it's fine. There you go. Good enough. So I'll walk you through this. The 2 caps will go on here. Like this. And like this. And so we should have, yeah, this should work. Hot glue's cold enough. Let me see if I have a 1/4-20 I can show this on. Alright, let me see if I can show you guys how this thing is supposed to work while we wait. So, here's the device with the 2 wires coming off the back. Those will go to your 2 inputs. And the idea here is to hold this in place and give you the ability to activate with your chin and activate with your cheek. So just to see if it works, with absolutely no testing, we'll find out. So this thing should let me put 1/4-20 either on the bottom, which would be near the chin, or near the cheek. Let me. All right. So I'll put it at the bottom. Tilt this down a little so I have this 1/4-20 here. Filter, yeah. And then yeah, so I'd have to put this at the bottom to work this way. And you'd really want to do something with like a ball mount here, but that. And so then the idea would be you'd have a chin position and a cheek position. Yeah, so with the right positioning, that does what we're talking about. I think so. Not sure, but certainly better than not having an answer, and the fact that you can use a friction arm like this probably helps. That I think so. See, other nice thing about this is you could hit this with a heat gun and position this and mount it in any direction. Let's see. Chris says, I've always wondered what Phil uses to stream. He streams on something like 4 or 5 platforms. He uses Restream, Chris. It's a service you pay for. It's if I do get more back into using YouTube, it's probably a service I'll pay for. But he uses Restream, and I think he had a video about how it works. But it does work very well. So, Chris, I'd love your opinion on this one to see if this would work. I don't think it would work for you particularly, but if you think, you know, with your friends and their challenges, I'd like to know if you think it would be a reasonable way to do this, right? So, it is a product. I mean, Chin Cheek is a product you can buy from R.J. Cooper, but it was showing up as discontinued. So let's just to hold this. I don't know if I can actually do a decent job of showing it, and I think I would actually probably do it this way. That's kind of more how it was designed, right? So you get this and that. So if you have basic minimal movement of your head and neck, you can do it, but you'd have to position this mounted from the side, which probably wouldn't be that hard. Let's see. You come in from the back like this, right? And actually this friction arm would probably be a good way to do that. So I think that's all right. That's a good 2-switch mount right there. Our print is at 92%. So in a couple minutes, we should be able to make at least one of the switches that Chris needs. And get that done. Now, Chris, this is so that we can do the 3 switches you need for here, for your Ultimate Remote. For those of you who haven't seen it, the Ultimate Remote is a guide Chris is doing. And it just comes up right now, and Um, I forget if it comes up with the letters or not. It does. So it lets you basically send keystrokes, Bluetooth, and infrared commands, either via the infrared LEDs, or it also has a Bluetooth device, so it'll pair with your iPhone and things like that. And you use basically row column scanning to say what characters you want to send. And Chris runs his life with this, absolutely. So I helped him build this and video how to make it, and the last step of that is to video how to use it. Let's see. Chris says, I think it would work better for quadriplegic who still had some head movement than someone with like me with SMA. It is a clever design, however. Yeah, I think it was made in response to the Chinchica not being available anymore. But it certainly wasn't a hard design to come up with. And it's a really easy print. In fact, I can show you maybe in Fusion how I did it. Excuse me. Let's see. Let me change this to here. Yeah, you can't see my camera in here. Sorry. But so here is the chin and cheek switch. Hopefully you guys can see that. And so what I did was I grabbed a bust, basically a human form, a scale human form that was available on GrabCAD. I brought it into the model, and then I placed the switches. I have MX switches. They're already modeled. Actually, they came from Adafruit has them. So I placed the two switches where I wanted them to be, and then I made a sketch that that was pretty straightforward. So here I can kind of walk you through kind of the steps here. So I added that in, and then whoop, our print is done. I added the two switches. The sketches are probably turned off, so let me turn them on in a second here. Yeah, so let's turn these on. So yeah, I made a sketch that went between the two of them. I extruded that out to make the basic brace. I added a little bit of length to make it easier, and square at the end, cut a couple holes, and then I added I rounded the corners and added the 1/4-20 mount, which should be coming shortly. So let's see. Yeah, so I added in this part, which is the T-nut right here. That came from McMaster Carr. I cut some holes for it, extruded that out, rounded some corners, and really that's pretty much the whole part. But one of the neat things about that, let me turn the sketches off so you can kind of see it better. One of the neat things about that is that it's a really easy part to print, because if you take a look, it only changes in 2 dimensions. So that means it makes it very easy to print vertically. I'll show you. All right, so ignore this part here. So it comes in looking kind of strange and warped, but it's really not. All you have to do is choose a plane along here to lay it down, and you'll see it actually is planar. It actually will just print kind of like that. So yeah, I'll show you there you go. So it prints nice and straight. It was what, 1 hour and 6 minutes. So it's not a very, and that's high density for 1 hour and 6 minutes, and all good. So let me see if I got any questions. Go back to the face. Sorry about I'm in a room without a second screen, so there's a limit here to what I can do. All right, so other questions. Let me quickly show you. Oh, yeah, there's the ultimate remote. And Chris, I need to get your fix to that code installed. So here's hot off the printer. Here's a MX switch that we make. It uses the MX keyboard switches, and I need to clean it up a little bit, pull out some supports. Supports are kind of optional, kind of not. Let me see here. The inside supports are optional. I turned them on because the quarter 20 thing really does kind of need it. So this hole needs supports. And I should have just checked the box that says only create supports from the base, but I didn't. So this is the part that's going to hold the switch. And then in here, these supports are kind of a joke. They just hold up the flange there. They don't really do much. So this is the top, and it's going to pop over the top like this. And the switch will act as a spring to hold that up. And yeah, just like that, it'll push it back up. So let's go ahead and make one of these. And I'll put the quarter 20 in later with the press, but I'm not going to do that on camera. So let me get a switch. It's going to pop in just like that. And oh, I need another one of those cords. Same exact process here. Oh, I forgot to remove something. So there's this piece here too. There you go. Yeah, I really should have left off supports on this one. So to make it work, you've got to basically thread through some of the wire. And then we'll use the stick vise again. Same basic approach here. Nothing new. I did order a whole bunch of cherry green switches. They're the right clicketiness for AT, I think, at least for me. I got the hot glue gun out. I'll probably go ahead and use it to hold these in place. Okay, got those, and these are already tin, so it doesn't really matter, but it doesn't hurt. All right. There's one. There's the other. Pull this through. Now we have a couple things we want to do here that are a little different here. So that'll totally work. But I have the hot glue, so why not use it, right? So go ahead and seal this up with hot glue, both on the actual solder points and then also just a strain relief on the wire. I would not normally do this, but it's already hot. So there's one. Go. Get some glue on it. It's gonna get in the way. There we go. Get the lid, the cap for it. Put this on and claim victory. How about that? There's 1, 2. Yep. Of course. All right, so let the hot glue. God, that's just everywhere. That stringy mess is just everywhere. So, but there's your switch. So there's one of the 3. I'll probably do a pink one and a green one. And then I might take I bought one of these. So I bought one of these deburring tools. And it does kind of have a little bit of a lip here. So I'll go ahead and clean that up a little bit. Just to make it nice and neat. Should have done this before I put the cap on, but I didn't. So there we go. Then back on the peg. Back on the peg. All right. Last thing to do will be to put the 1/4-20 threaded insert in. I'll do that when they're all done. I'll do them all at once. But there's one. And I will probably... I could test yours now because I have the 3 switches, but I'm going to go ahead and make the other 2, print the other 2 switches like this. And that way we have 3 that match and just differ by color. All right, so I'll have, I'll do a pink and probably a green. I'm just looking, oh, I have an orange. So I get a yellow, a pink, and an orange. That would be a different, and obviously, they'd be very bright ones. You have any preferences, Chris, for colors? I doubt if you will. So, probably not. I'll take a look and see. I know I should be using green for everything, but Amazon has been out of green on the Hatchbox PLA for, I don't know, a month and a half. So I've just been using other colors, which is probably fine. So, all right. You can always tell me what colors you want. I got 5 or 10 minutes here before I start. I'm going to probably shut this stream down. I think it served the purpose. I get to watch it and see whether or not it really gets any traffic, whether anybody looks at it over on YouTube, if it doesn't also get published on Facebook. And if for any of you guys watching, I normally do the streaming on Facebook and then copy the end result up to YouTube, sometimes with some editing. But I might do some in the opposite way. We'll see how the traffic looks. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Let me shut this down and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.